But what I never did is I never did the DNA genealogical test that you can do until recently. And my results just came back. And it turns out that I'm related to, surprise, surprise, the founders of Ancestry.com. So I wrote to them. I said, I just did your test, and if that's the case, if you could maybe refund, I pay $99, just refund some of that, give me a family discount, say I'll pay a total of $39. They said, who are you? I said, take the test. They said, no credit. I said, well, okay, well maybe my great-great-great-grandfather paid your great-great-uncle's sister's husband's great-great-grandfather's web developer. They said, no way. I said, oh, well, maybe it was the e-commerce guy. I mean, I don't have receipts. This was a long time ago. Is there any tests that you can do to check, like e-commerce saliva? There is no such test. If you see that, don't check that off, okay? That's not. But there's instructions there. When you take a DNA genealogical test, you have to follow certain rules so they can get an accurate sample. And they tell you not to have any spicy foods before you take the sample from your mouth, because then the test, it could skew the results. It might say that you're Sephardic. You could test for up to 12 salads to determine what percentage Moroccan you are. And if you have an extra $15 to spend, you can also go ahead and you can test for fish and tomato sauce versus gefilte. Which of your ancestors on your maternal or paternal side attended better kiddushes at their synagogues, and if they waited in line, didn't push. My ancestors never would have pushed through to the kiddush table. They would not have wanted to embarrass me. There's a glitch, though. There's a glitch with this test that it shows like 35% relation to the Streit family. Those are manufacturers of Streit's matzah products. And 40% relationship to the Manischewitz family with 18% overlap. So do you also have Streit's and Manischewitz on your Seder table? We might possibly be related. We have the Maxwell House Haggadah. That's one of our Haggadahs, yes. One of our 25 on our shelf, and it's a family heirloom. So if you also use the Maxwell House Haggadah, you're possibly there's a relationship. There's a test we can do to check wine stains. I have a few in the beginning. I've got 10 wine drops on page 19 and a fingerprint. So in Egypt, the Israelites, you know this, but I just have to repeat the fact so we don't get confused. They did not have in Egypt, when they were leaving, they didn't have Streit's and Manischewitz. Actually, Streit's and Manischewitz back then, they didn't go out of Egypt with Streit's and Manischewitz on their shoulders. They did carry Barden's candy, cashew nut clusters. And just like today, when they got out there and they opened them up, they saw that 2 of them were missing. And it's always like that. It's not at the factory. It's done in the house, usually. It's something like that.